Dr. Stone.
Oh,
No
man.
countdown for you. So, wow. Thurman, I like to let you start because you really, you the boy here. You the man.
So first. Let's look where I want to go about. Honestly, I want to talk about Stanley first
Yo!
because wow, wow, like the pure badassery, bro. Like, first of all, how's that gonna be when like you're in your stone and like the cigarette, right? Like that's a badass pose to go out on.
Yeah, so pointless. By the There's a whole panel dedicated to that too. Like, hold on, wait.
Wait, let me light up one last cigarette.
Like that's dedication right there.
Thurman, do you remember in One Piece when Zoro's about to be turned into a wax figure and then he like poses with his sword and he's like, "Listen, if I'm going to be turned into a statue, I might as well have a cool pose."
Yeah, that's dope. So I want to say like the monologue he's having here when it comes to shooting off the thing, like that I honestly I never even thought of that. Like that's genius, right? That's ingenious.
I like that choice that he has to make because essentially it really is like I could chance it. I could hope that my shot sprinkles it onto one of our people, but on the it's like it's a chance. Like even a shot like that is probably not a guarantee for him. So that's maybe we win. But hold on, that's a maybe we win and maybe humanity is not doomed, or I don't make the shot and at the very least humanity's not doomed. And I love that he chooses to fuck it. All right, humanity is more important than me, and at least Zeno will live, which kind of solidifies their relationship. And we also see them as kids in this chapter. The now it has moved to childhood friend tag on the N hentai post. Hype.
Yeah, it's so funny because Taiju's there. So Taiju is Stanley's. Bruh, I cannot believe it. We've made all these jokes, and the author is trying to beat it into us that no matter what we say, no matter how much we kick and scream and cry, Taiju is here to stay. Taiju's best friend.
I'm telling you, this motherfucker's not dead.
If Taiju dies, bro,
he won't.
That's wild.
He should, but he won't.
It's just it's honestly, if that's the case, I really wish there were more Senku Taiju moments now. Because now that the Joker's kind of dead, well,
yeah,
as dead-ish, right? It's just so. I think that's one of the. I don't want to say negatives because like it's really well done, but like I want to say slight negative of early Dr. Stone.
You don't feel the Taiju Senku relationship very well, do you? It's not like a Zoro Luffy thing.
It's so funny because like from the jump of the series, it was established that before Senku was the main character, it was established that these two were like the closest of friends and everything. Like they do everything together, blah 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 blah. But then it's just like before we could sort of like see that, like they added Tsukasa in the mix, and then Yuzuriha was here, and then like
Chrome became the true best friend.
Yeah, and then like so I honestly like I don't even want to say it's a negative because like the way it was done is really really good. Like Taiju and Yuzuri are going to Tsukasa, like Senku going by himself, like all that. It's really really well done. But I will say the slight negative is the fact that we don't really get to see Taiju and Senku's friendship as much as we should. Now you can argue like them coming back, like remember the famous. Get out of here with your small dick energy chapter, right?
So good.
Like you could say like that shit was solidifying.
I don't know what he's talking about. Our channel trailer, go watch it. One of the first time I ever heard the phrase small dick or big dick energy, it was in a Dr. Stone review, and it was Thurman fucking killing me.
So
I must have watched that trailer like 50 times. It's so fucking good.
Taiju does have. It's funny too, because like he shouldn't, because he's a powerful, strong guy. But Taiju does have small dick energy.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you focus on strength over, science.
It's also what happens when you can't talk to a female without screaming. That's
yes.
Small dick energy.
Jesus Christ, yes.
I fucking love you. Marry me.
Oh wait, that's all my internal monologue. I don't have the balls to say it to your face.
So like, because at that point it's just sort of like now, like, we know it. You can say, like, those small little tidbits shows it. But, like, the author is, like, beating into us. Like, yes, Senku and Taiju have, like, this bond relationship, but we don't really see that because he gets along with, like, Ryutsu, Chrome, Gen. Like, he has, like, moments. Like, I don't know if you saw my Twitter and Facebook posts, you know, the Senku and Tsukasa slap, like, Senku hasn't even gave Taiju a high five in the series yet.
Wait,
a badass high five.
Fact check that comments. I can believe it, but someone's gonna be like,
because
actually in chapter 55, panel 13.
And what's best about that too, I just looked it up.
I'm going to go check what chapter 55, panel 13 is now.
Because I looked up Senku High Five, and I was trying to make the Asta, Black Clover, and Dr. Stone same energy post, and I was like, I seen the because I think the anime is caught up to Stone Wars, so I saw the Senku Taiju High Five, the old man and Senku High Five, and Chrome and Senku High Five, but no
all the high fives in the series history.
Yeah, and honestly, the author and the Bochi makes a good ass fucking high five scene. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm on chapter 55 now. Do you want me? You said panel 13. Do you want panel 13 or page 13? I can
panel
count the panels
13.
if you want.
Panel 13.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, panel 13 is when they're going down into the cave with Magma and Chrome to get, like, I think they were getting jewels and shit. And it says, yo, Senku, were you sure it was smart to bring Magma along? There you go.
That's a good arc. Yeah. So it's just like, bro,
I was channeling my internet voice for those that don't really know that.
He was channeling his hatred for Magma.
No, yes, and also no. I honestly did not know what that fucking panel was. I don't have the series memorized.
Remember when you asked me what chapter Ponzu from Hunter x Hunter died, and I actually guessed it?
I fucking hate you.
Very proud of that one.
It's just interesting, right? Like, because like Zeno's like saying, like, me and Senku are so alike, and then we see Stanley there, and we see Taiju there. It's just like, bro. Like, come on.
If Zeno was here and you pronounced his name as Zenu, he would fucking kill you. He'd be like, never fucking say it like that ever again.
Zeno.
Zenu. I want that to be a joke. I want Taiju to, like, it'd be so hard to do over manga, though. Like, Zenu? Zenu?
It's so
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Thurman. It's weird. It's kind of a show don't tell situation. Obviously, they've had good chemistry since he showed back up. But it is strange because, and I do think that the reason that particular panel was shown that way is because it's the connection there is not who their best friend is, rather who their childhood friend is, because it's showing their childhood. So it's not like he could show Chrome in that panel, because it's literally showing their childhoods. But it does kind of miss the mark on fully being a good metaphor, because I would argue at this point, I'm sorry, like, I do wonder, I feel like if you asked Senku, he would say Taiju's his best friend, but, like, I don't know. Like, I get
like it's a slippery slope. You know what I mean?
That moment that Chrome and Senku had in the boat, where, like, it was Senku and Zeno were doing sciencey shit, and then Chrome came in and joined them, and it was extra wholesome. Like, that was a moment where I was like, bro, like, the Chrome friendship is real.
It's definitely like the Zoro and Usopp argument for, like, who's, like, Luffy's best friend sort of thing. It's just so interesting because, like, you could definitely argue either Chrome or Taiju, but even then it could be like, well, Chrome is probably like a little brother to Senku sort of thing, right?
Oh my god!
Just like you could like.
If anything, it's funny you say that. I would say Taiju's more like a little brother, because, like, to me, family is people that you spend time with out of obligation, and friends are people that you like spending time with. And like, family to me is the type of people that I have to be around. I have no similar interests with them, and it's a struggle talking to them, but I can still get along with them. Whereas friends are people that I can vibe with and like gush about my interests. Senku doesn't, in my mind, like, sure he does, but, like, if I was Senku, it would bother me to talk about science to someone like Taiju, because you know for a fact it's going in one ear out the other. Whereas with Chrome, you can literally see him absorbing it, learning it, and that shit, as someone who wants to teach something, is very satisfying. That's my fucking TED talk for why Chrome's the better friend. Thank you.
I agree with that, although sometimes the family can be the friend thing. It really just depends.
I think it's just family. My family's boring.
Yeah, I think that's just because, you know, it depends on, like, how close we are with your family and whatnot. But it's just like I like that comparison. But honestly, like to me, it feels like Senku doesn't really mind that. Like, cause honestly, Taiju.
Yeah, he's not an asshole like me, for sure.
Taiju is the type of person that's just like he won't understand it. But like it's sort of like the normal girlfriend gets a gamer boyfriend sort of situation, to where like she won't play the games with you, but she'll be interested. Like she'll sit there and watch you play and get involved with it. You know what I mean?
That's
like
a good metaphor, and I think that kind of shows why I'm not a big fan of their relationship, because in my opinion, like as wholesome as that is, one of my top criteria for both friendships and relationships is similar interests. Like, sure, it's nice that you're watching and you're not like a dick about it, but like if you're not going to make an attempt to get into it like meaningfully, get out of here.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, I'm just like, just like having someone who won't like, it's just in the background. She's like, because I think what hits the most is just like, they're interested in, but like they don't care enough to try, but they're happy about it because I'm happy about it.
Oh, it's definitely wholesome. Yeah, like Taiju's a good person for sure. Like it's one of those. I've seen a bunch of TikToks about that where it's like my boyfriend hyperfixating about the Transformers lore or whatever, and me not understanding a word but just smiling because he's happy. Yeah, that's absolutely the energy Taiju puts off.
Yeah, that's definitely Taiju. And David, you've been quiet for a minute, so I want your thoughts on this.
So I've just been listening to this entire bit, and you're like spot on. There's not a whole lot I can add to that conversation other than that's kind of like where we've been for the last like 15, 20 chapters. You see Taiju slowly get sent by the wayside now that Senku has his science bro squad in full force here. And like Reb was saying, once we had that moment on the boat with like Chrome and Zeno, you kind of saw the dynamic change from the super like wholesome best childhood friend moment to, is that really what he was, or was he there by a status of convenience because he knows a little bit but he doesn't know as much? And then once this relationship that he had with Zeno was reformed, it's like, this was what I wanted, something that's a challenge to me to where I can actually be like, okay, so this is my theory here. This is my theory here.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Zeno-Stanley relationship because, like, obviously Stanley's, like, forte is not science, but, like, you can tell he's not an idiot. Like, he's a smart guy. He has his own science that he does, which is, like, science of trajectory, science of air resistance. You know what I mean? Like, he's a smart guy in many fields.
Yep.
And I imagine, in terms of combat and gunmanship, I think, is that a word, David? Gunmanship?
Yeah, gunmanship.
Let's go with that.
Okay, I imagine in stuff like that, he could teach Zeno some things. So like that's a constructive relationship where I hate to be that guy, like taking him, and maybe Senku's just a better person than me, but I have a hard time talking to people who like go full like when information, the type of people where you talk to them and it just goes in one ear out the other. Like I feel like I'm wasting my time. You know what I mean? And that like. If they're trying, that's one.
A lot of that.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm coming off as a dick here. Like, fuck Taiju.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, there has to be a challenge in a conversation. This is why a lot of us I will say that all three of us are on the spectrum in some regard.
At this point, like, I haven't had that confirmed. All I've had confirmed for me is ADD, OCD. But like I'm learning, and I will get back to you. I just want to give a little bit of a qualifier because like that's a loaded statement there, David. I think David, you have had that fully confirmed.
Yeah.
Right? And then Thurman is sus that he has some shit going on, but he doesn't know, right, Thurman?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the way I look at this is that I think that the further we go into like medical science, it's harder and harder to pin down normal because there's such a spectrum of like what a brain can be. But I will say that I think the type of people that get into like manga or anime or just any sort of nerd fandom hardcore are usually not the typical normal successful venture capitalist climb the corporate ladder super good at socializing type of people. So yeah, in that regard, yes, that we're not all the greatest at socializing.
Yeah. I think that's why we have such a trouble forming like a normal friendship with somebody that's just a human.
I think you're 100% correct.
Like your normal like sportsy, oh I like sports ball type. You're like basic bitch that has a fucking Starbucks addiction. I'm calling myself out there. Thanks so much.
No one surprised me.
like those type of people we have a harder time having a day-to-day conversation with. And that's kind of what Taiju gives off the energy of. Whereas Senku being this super genius that has all of these moments of like, oh, I got this breakthrough here and this breakthrough here.
Senku is absolutely on the autism spectrum.
And that's why I feel like the more he sees science in the world, he has this wanderlust of like, oh, I gotta go and talk to this person. I gotta talk to this person and see if they can confirm this hypothesis I had 7,000 fucking years ago.
I'm glad you brought that up, David, because like that was what I was gonna say too. One of the reasons that I come off as like extra harsh when it comes to this conversation is that like I don't know why, but the way that like my brain is wired, nothing just consumes my fucking being more than like an awkward conversation. It just like kills me. Like I hate it so much. And it's not that I don't blame the other person, I blame me too. So like I really like it when someone can, like, a good conversation is one that you can ping pong back and forth. They pick up the slack, you pick up the slack, you know what I mean? And I just have a feeling that trying to communicate with Taiju would be a little bit mind-numbing. And I just, if I was Senku, I would be like, ugh. Whereas Chrome is fucking great because like he contributes, you know what I mean? Like Senku will be like, what do you know, because he's doing that thing where he's testing him, and I love that. Like, what do you think about this, Chrome? And he's like, we could do this, and he's like, you're damn right we could. Yeah, like that's a great idea. I love conversations like that. So yeah, Taiju's a great person. Boring.
And trying to have that same conversation with like half of the regular cast would come off the same way as it would with Taiju. But since Taiju is such a central focus to the story, especially back the first 10, 15 chapters, it just gives out this energy that he's more important, even though now that we've got this expanded cast, he's really fallen by the wayside as a character.
Yeah, so, and I will say, too, it's not even just because he's stupid. Because, like, I would enjoy a conversation with Ginro, even though he's stupid, because Ginro's got snark and sass to him. You know what I mean? Taiju, maybe it's, too, I'm just not a big fan of the, like, dopey, pure type character. You know what I mean? Like, he's so pure. He's so wholesome. And he's strong. He's a himbo, essentially. That's like...
He really is a himbo.
As a fan of femboys, stealthy, snake-like femboys, the exact opposite of my character type is a himbo. It's just, I'm not a himbo guy.
Yeah, that's what's so funny about your relationship, too, is like, your partner is just like pure himbo, and you're a pure femboy.
Does she like yeah, you know what, she does. Yeah, I was thinking of she like stupid. She likes stupid and smart big guys. So like, yeah.
I fall into the same fucking boat here.
Go ahead, Thurman, you've been in a... Oh, sorry. Did you go ahead and finish what you're saying, David? And then
I fall into the same boat here. Like, one of my partner's favorite characters is fucking Nagito Kamaeda from fucking Danganronpa, and I'm just over here like, okay, I can see the resemblance.
Like, weeb one?
The stupid weeb with the white hair and the crazy eyes.
You're kidding me. That's... Ooh, I don't like that.
I'll send you a picture.
That's like, I think I know who you're talking about, because I watched a bit of a Game Grumps playthrough. If it's who I think it is, that's like on some having Choji as your favorite character level.
No. That's Byakuya you're thinking of. I'll send you this on
anyone who... Genuinely curious, does anyone have Choji as a favorite character in Naruto? Like, have you ever come across that in your life?
His fighting style is unique, and that's about it.
But he's fat.
This one here, Red.
I'll say Choji. I kind of like Choji as a thing. Also, quick update: they found him guilty.
How could you have found him?
You are kidding me!
Guilty?
You know, literally everyone on Twitter is saying guilty. He got.
Wow! All right, so we're filming this during the fucking.
Tonight.
That's incredible! I'm so happy we have our reaction. Yeah. Okay, so we're filming this during the just for history, because one day I'll probably watch this like 5 years down the line. We're filming this during the George Floyd, George Chauvin, whatever the hell the fucking cop's name is.
Derek Chauvin and
trial. We're filming this during that. The jury has just given their verdict here, and 9 times out of 10, when it comes to cop cases, they let the cop off the hook. But I think they realized, because the jury are just part of normal people, I think they realized that if they found him not guilty, multiple cities would burn tonight. I'm not condoning that. I'm just stating that as a fact. That would
second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter.
Yo, he's fucking in that. He's in jail for a fucking long time then.
No, he won't be. He won't be. He'll get murdered in jail.
I don't know, man. Like, have they said how long? I feel like with all those cases, he might be in there for a bit.
I'm saying he won't be in there for a bit because he'll fall
you're
down
saying
a set
he's
of
gonna get killed in
stairs.
jail because he's a cop.
Yeah, he'll fall down a set of stairs, or he'll find a lead pipe shoved up his ass somewhere.
That's amazing. Not what you're saying. I would prefer him to. Oh wait, yeah. Okay, let me read this. The maximum sentence is 40. Okay, so anywhere from 10 to 40 years. It seems like 10 it looks like 10 is the minimum. So.
So the timestamp for whatever we're doing, because you might want to edit this out, but let's save the taxpayers some money and just
Do you not want that publicly out there, David? I mean,
Do you?
I imagine it's something you stand by.
Do you want that on the
That's
channel?
up to you. I've said my take on this. I would like him to just live his life out in jail, thinking about what he's done and coming to.
As somebody that has a corrections officer for a dad, that's usually what happens to cops and corrections officers that are in the prison system. Is they usually wind up
bad people
dead.
better than they treat us. Slap his ass in jail and let him think over what he's done. And hopefully, by the time he's fucking dying of old age in jail, he'll be like, "Fuck, I was kind of a prick," and he can come to peace with his life.
I'm just saying, like, historically, once they're in the system, they don't last in the system very often.
Sure. They'll probably have to put him in some. He'll probably get a separate room, honestly.
It's usually by the hands of fellow corrections officers or police as well.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that picture of the character you just sent, though, actually is kind of sexy. I vibe.
Anyway, go ahead and cut back in here.
Do you think I'm cutting that out? You want it cut out? I had no problem with it.
This is just me giving you an out.
Me an out? You said it. What the fuck? There's no need for an out on my end. It's you. If you want an out, I'll cut it out. But
yeah, it probably would be a good idea for future employers to cut that out.
We'll bleep it, and then it'll be like a mystery of what you said.
Yeah, go ahead and bleep that whole section.
We'll leave it to the imagination. Yeah.
Dude,
Herman, what's your take on this historic moment in history?
I'm sneaking.
The two white guys are talking about it. I feel like
I'm sneaking through the enemy lines, right, on the Republic Twitter, right?
Oh, you're on Republican Twitter?
Yeah, I'm sneaking in, bro, and they're hurt. They're upset. They're mad. I cannot believe it. One of our own's got, black people got justice, and they hate it.
I can't believe a man who sat on a dude's neck for 9 minutes went to jail. What's this country?
I can't believe it. Oh my God, America's going downhill. A murderer going to jail. Oh my God.
They're scared. They're scared now that when they do things, they might have to face consequences occasionally.
Damn. Funny how that works, eh? And it's funny, the quartering,
That's so
right?
good. I love that.
I follow the quartering.
The quartering fucking blocked me.
On Twitter.
Wow, we must have said some shit. So, by the way, never forget, the lesson that is to be taken from this is that riots and protesting work. You think if this was
controversial take there from Red? Oh wait, our entire fucking country was founded on one. You fucking cunt.
Exactly. Throw that tea into the harbor, bitch. Listen.
Let me do elegant reading of some of the comments under the quartering Twitter.
Yeah,
right?
I love this. I love what this video has become.
You guys have fun. I'll be right back.
He never stood a chance, and you can't have a fair trial. Disgusting. Minnesota lives to fight another day. Cowardly judge and cowardly jurors deciding to let someone else clean up the mess while the cameras are turned elsewhere. Disappointing, but not surprising. Wow. What else we got? Scared motherfuckers. Clown World, Mob Rule.
Oh, I love Clown World.
Let's see. Oh, let me go to the original one. Let's go.
You literally have to fucking dehumanize George Floyd completely to think.
Bro, let me either way, America loses.
What? Lord have mercy.
Let's telling you, man. One of the comments, you're betting on the verdict of a racist police officer who murdered an innocent black man? The comments to that, the black dude was everything except innocent. That guy was passing fake bills and buying drugs in the same day.
Because to a Republican, that means you deserve to be killed.
He had a life of criminal actions. He was bound to get So,
Oh, there it is. Yeah, he would have gotten killed anyway. It's fine. Whatever.
he was lucky he overdosed around cops.
Wow.
Oh my god! Look at this.
Everyone that says that shit, by the way, I want their like son or best friend to overdose around a cop and see how they immediately change their mind. Like, oh,
Look at this shit. Let's see.
no, they don't give a shit too. Like, this is a Republican thing. The 13-year-old that just recently got fucking killed by a cop. Have you heard? You heard about that one, right, Thurman?
Yeah.
The 13-year-old. Like Republicans are literally like. I think the most telling thing I saw is that they're referring to him as a 13-year-old man. Like, there was I think it was Sean Hannity is a radio show host, and he called him a 13-year-old man, and then the 17-year-old Republican kid that ended up shooting people at a protest, they called him a boy.
Mm-hmm. These people are hilarious. Oh my god.
Wait, David, are you back, by the way? Wow. All right, it's you and me now, Thurman. So anyway, back to Dr. Stone. That was a historic moment in our country there.
I'm literally just retweeting all of my favorite people on Twitter's guilty.
I'm gonna have to go do that soon. My phone's fucking dead at the worst time. Let me plug that shit in. I'll just do like a timestamp, like skip to here if you don't care about politics.
Yeah. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Yeah, so the Taiju Senku friendship. One thing I will say, I hope that the author does go back and sort of make it more believable, because right now it seems like Taiju's taking a backseat to Chrome, and that's fine. But it's just like I said, I consider Chrome. Like, you could argue Chrome could be like the best friend. Oh no, Chrome could be like the little brother of the. But,
it just feels like they just use Taiju to be like pack mule. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it sucks because like we clearly see that Taiju and Senku are way closer than everyone else, but we haven't really seen that. So I would like a little show don't tell sort of thing.
I agree.
You know. So anyway, but going back, it's just so interesting. I want to go back to the Stanley thing because it's so interesting, right? Because Stanley literally was like, because he was basically saying like, if I don't shoot, we'll like, because right now I think this is a battle of pride sort of thing. We all know that Stanley's a very prideful person, so I think his decision to do that is sort of like, I would say, character development for him, because it was very interesting because he was just like, because Stanley really did have that chance to just fuck over humanity. Like, you really don't think about this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's a great... If he really wanted to, if he really didn't want anyone to win that much, he could say, fuck it, knock the thing off, and no one will get revived.
And a lot of people in this world would be like that, too. It's like, if I can't win, no one should win mentality. And it says a lot about Stanley, that in that moment of, like, I don't know, 3-4 seconds that he had to think about it, he chose... Because, like, and you can tell, too, he cares a lot about Zeno, because one of his deciding factors was, well, Zeno will be fine. They'll just use my statue to, like, hold that over him. Like, oh, you better work with us. And by the way, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's Stanley underestimating Senku, because Senku is a fucking psychopath. Senku is going to immediately revive him, probably just put him in handcuffs and revive him or something. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's what he did with fucking Hyuga and
Exactly.
Tsukasa for a while.
So Stanley thinks that they're going to just keep him petrified and fucking be like, we'll break this statue if you don't do exactly what we say.
I mean, Tsukasa didn't do that shit. Hyoga would do that shit, not Senku.
Exactly. So that's not what's going to happen. He's going to immediately revive him and just kind of get into a situation, take all of his guns away and all that shit, put him in a situation where they'll probably if they're smart, they'll tie him up. And then kind of just be like, no, you're just with us now. Like you just gotta kind of calm your tits, brother. And that is going to be really interesting, because this is a situation, like we've discussed, where I'd like to see Senku kind of evolve from this, because unlike, I don't know, it just feels a little different from, like, I understand Tsukasa was killing motherfuckers too, or at least trying to. But, like, this guy really did just snipe motherfuckers in the head. I don't know if you've sniped him in the head, but, like, he was going
I think we dove into this last video, Red, is, like, there was a difference in morals between the two characters as well. Like, Tsukasa is one of those that, like, there's still good in him, and Senku saw it. Mm-hmm. And with a fucking Stanley and for a little bit, like even Zeno, there's a lack of a moral compass there. It's more of the ends justify the means kind of thing.
But I feel like the way they're writing Stanley, it feels like, especially with that little moment there where it shows how much he cares for Zeno, I think the author is hinting at good in Stanley too.
Yeah.
Which is why, one last thing, and I promise I'll let you finish your thing. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Senku reacts to this because, I mean, like, as we saw, he would have sniped Suka in the head if he could, like he was going for that. You know what I mean? Like, so this man, he's pretty abhorrent. Like, he was willing to just kill them all, and these are mostly children. So yeah, it's gonna be, but it's being written like, oh, there's that twinge of good in him. So I'm curious where it's gonna go. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, so that's the moment I'm questioning here for a second here. I'm wondering how much of that good is just because that's quote unquote his man and he wants to defend him, versus there's like he actually cares for an honorable victory. Because by all accounts,
the deciding factors for him was literally, oh well, Zeno will at least still be alive. Like, is that literally it? Was it like, I would fuck up humanity, but Zeno? Is he that fucking thirsty for him?
It's that fine line we're riding on here, because
it's that fine dick we're riding on.
I mean, it is a line theoretically, depending on how erect it is and how cold it will be during the unthawing. Or
that's the other thing too. If they wake up and his clothes have dissolved off, are they just gonna get a big old fucking view of Stanley dick?
I mean, Yuzuriya knows the size canonically of everybody, which makes this entire series very awkward if you're coming out of petrification during the winter.
Oh, that sucks. Oh yeah. Oh my god. I'm a grower, dude. Like, oh, I'd be like, I'd see the fucking beam coming and I'd be like, hurry up, get an erection, hurry up,
hurry up, hurry up.
Yeah. Fun fact. One time I was getting my hair cut and I sat like really still the whole time and it was like on a hard chair. And the way I was sitting, it literally like restricted blood flow to my dick and balls. So like, you know that feeling like when you have like your arm all asleep and like tingly, like it was that in my dick. So in order
to God.
It was awful. It was awful. So my brain was like, okay, blood goes to the dick when you're horny, right? So I'm going to look at some Rukia hentai to recover from this. And it worked.
You were reading hentai at the barber?
No, in the bathroom.
In the bathroom. Okay,
I had to recover my dick. Also, remember, my mom is a hairstylist, so I was like, all right, thanks, mother, and then I waddled away with my numb dick, and I had to fucking fix that shit. I wasn't like jerking off. I was just like, I need to get blood to the dick. That was my experiment in my head. I was like, if I can just get blood to the dick quicker.
You had fun that day, huh?
You're walking out of your mom's barbershop bathroom with a fucking heart on.
No, guys. As Thurman would say, it's not that deep. It was just like, I think it'll quicken the flow of blood. You see what I do for content? I brought this up knowing that I would get roasted because it'd be funny. All right.
I do all the time.
It's true.
So let me tell my embarrassing barber story here, since we're doing this.
Did you fuck one of them?
No. No. Do we count before or after they became a barber?
I told you. I knew it. See?
Anyway,
you list any profession, there's a good chance that David's fucked one of them.
In this particular case, I was sitting there with my partner, so no, I was not plowing the barber. Jesus Christ, I hope she doesn't watch this video. I hope she doesn't watch this video. Anyway, I'm sitting there getting the fucking shampooing thing done while I'm just 3 hours fresh out of a 12-hour shift. I'm just falling asleep while she's shampooing my fucking hair.
Probably nice
drinking my Starbucks.
On, yeah.
Drinking my Starbucks mango dragon fruit refresher like a basic white bitch. And my partner's like, you're awful quiet today. I'm like, yeah, this is super relaxing. And the barber, knowing both of us, is like, are you high right now? I'm like, I wish I was. Happy 420.
That's not even that embarrassing. Oh my god.
Dude, it's embarrassing because I'm falling asleep in the fucking barber chair getting a scalp massage while my partner's there watching me like,
that's
the fuck is
so
wrong
not
with
embarrassing. It's like, whatever.
It's embarrassing to me.
You want to know what is embarrassing? Seamless transition. Luna and her shitty fucking throw at the beginning of this chapter. Very much not the capable gal.
No, God, no.
That shit actually kind of cancelable, honestly. Like Luna down 2 points. That shit was garbage.
I'm happy they have a bunch of them. It looks like they have a bunch of fluids, so that's great.
They do, yeah. But like, wow, that's ridiculous. Because that shit is like gold, bro. Like I can't believe she did that. Also, I was wondering if the author was gonna do some shit where like where she threw that ends up like landing on like one of Zeno's dudes.
Yeah, I thought like it's cracked, but could that shit still work even if it's on the ground? We don't know.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing too. Like, she's overthinking it. She's so overthinking it, man. Like, all you gotta do, like, literally just a drop has to be on there. We've seen this. So what I would do, unironically, is I would open that bottle. I would get my hand soaked in it, and then right before the beam hit me, I would flick my hand up in the air so a drop came down. That's all you gotta do. Stop it. You're overthinking it, people.
God.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Well, Luna's just stupid. Like, I love her.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like, she's not stupid. Let me clarify. She's one of those people that, like, she does not do well under pressure.
She's dumb. It's different between dumb and stupid.
She's blonde.
Sure.
All of her,
Let's go.
all of her brains went to her thighs.
You must be very horny because you said bras.
Did I?
Yes,
You
you
did.
said.
Nice. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But I do. I have a weird thing against blondes because my mom and sister are both blonde. And they dye it like it's not even their fucking natural. They don't do it anymore. They like my entire childhood though, constant blonde. So I'm just like I can't think of anything but them when I see a blonde.
Oof.
I know, they've ruined blondes for me forever. Also, blondes have ruined themselves. So
I mean, I was a fucking whore when I was blonde, so I can't
the
even say
blonde
that.
energy is real, dude. Like motherfuckers will dye their hair blonde and become a whole different person.
It's real. It's fucking
It really
real.
is. The lowest point in my life was when I was blonde.
Fuck.
You remember how ugly I was?
I'm trying to think, and like, yeah,
that was like peak depression. I think it was correlated with the blondness, but it just so happened.
I wonder how much is psychologically related to blondness, actually.
Thurman, what are you doing over there? Sounds like some copyright.
I
mean, isn't it 10 seconds or is it 30? I don't know.
I'm just trolling.
I'm trying to make a GIF maker. So I wanted to, since everyone's typing guilty, right? There's a video on YouTube that has like a character yelling guilty, guilty, and I want to make a GIF of that, but I need to find me a GIF maker and I can't find it.
This man hardcore multitasking.
Zomdroid. Look up Zomdroid in the Google Play Store.
Review, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening. You guys are talking. I'm doing this. I have to make sure.
So, what do you guys think? Let's see, is there anything
You said
else to talk about?
Zondroid?
Zomdroid.
I like this line here where, Senku reiterates, like, you guys want to take the world for yourself, we want to craft the world of the future. And then from Zeno's perspective, it's like, I see. So what you guys are doing is actually way harder than what I want to do. It's easy to take something. It's way harder to try to, like, craft it into your image without, like, being a totalitarian about it. So I like his take on it. It's like, I see. Well, you guys are the real greedy ones because you're fucking overcomplicating it. We should just take it over together. And I do like that he reiterates the whole, like, man, Senku, you're so fucking cool. Like you can tell he loves Senku. He's like, come on, man. Like, it's very much like the Kaido
the
Luffy.
world with me.
It's very much like the Kaido Luffy dynamic, Thurman.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, David, sorry.
It's really that moment of like, just conquer the world with me, Senku.
Please.
It's so much easier. Bow down
Senku
to that.
is the master of playing hard to get, both with women and with gay men.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I really think this confirms that Senku is full on asexual.
Oh my god, 100%. Like, this has been confirmed many times, and I love that. Now we have Luffy and Senku, asexual kings. God, I love that so much. I actually watched a whole essay video a couple days ago about Luffy being asexual and like going through every single example in the series and like what that means to people. I fucking love that so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of ace fucking representation in fiction, and actually getting it is fucking magical. Like, you have trans icon and an asexual icon both in One Piece, and now you have one basically confirmed here than fucking Dr. Stone, and you have essentially like gay representation as well.
Yeah, well, I truly do think that there is something to the fact that like when your mind isn't clouded by sexual desire, you can focus on things like science. You know what I mean? Like, because really, if you think about it, I'll be honest. A lot of my motivation came down to finding a mate. It's a weird thing, like fucking hardwired into your brain. Like a big chunk of the reason why I wanted to eat healthy, exercise, lose weight, dress better, have hygiene, clean my teeth, yada yada yada. It was like a good chunk of it was to find a mate, and it's like, and you start thinking about that, like how the majority of your fucking motivation is to bang, and it's like, oh god, that's really dark. I hate that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, when you're someone like Senku, like, I do wonder, asexuals in the comments, I know we used to have one, like, at that point, do you just go full, like, monk, like, clear your mind, and then your motivations become more like, I wish to seek knowledge and bring the world to peace? Because that's the vibe I get from Senku. He's like, now that I don't have to think about vagine, I can finally...
I don't have to think about bussy or pussy. Just
either
science.
of the C. Yeah. Anyway. So, how you doing, buddy? Did you get that gift working yet?
Yeah, I found the one I used to have on my old phone. So, yeah, going back to everything here, I do have to go to work soon, so I'm going to do my final thoughts, and then I'm going to head out.
I got one more question for you guys before you do your final thoughts. The dog shit at the end. I'm stupid, so remind me about this dog.
Apparently he's been in there for a while now. I completely forgot about him. I saw that like there was an anime version of him, so that means he's been there since like the beginning.
Me too, and it seems like they've grown up quite a bit. And you see this final thing where the seasons are going by like crazy, so it seems like more than just a couple months are passing.
Thank God. I'm so happy. I'm sorry. I would be so upset if it was only like a couple of months.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a lot cool. Because like, why even do a petrification if shit doesn't like majorly change? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and they're still gonna be young.
Oh yeah, I would love an actual time skip where I guess we had one, but it didn't seem to like meaningfully change their designs or ages too much.
And I like how too. So everyone's just like in defensive positions. So like,
that's clever.
Clearly, I think Senku told them, hey, if something goes horribly wrong, if we lose and you're getting petrified again, do this, and this.
Yeah, because I liked seeing that scene because I remember you specifically saying, how are they going to react? So the fact that they didn't panic and they're like, all right, we're ready, like there's a lot of trust there.
Yeah, I think they might have, had a shit beforehand. But I think Senku and Zeno's dialogue is the takeaway from this chapter. It's actually really, really good. I wonder if the two ladies will revive themselves somehow because they have a lot of fluid. So I'm pretty sure she's smart enough to. Oh no! I lied. They got petrified.
Yeah, remember Luna? You talking about Luna? She fucking idiotically threw her bottle down.
Yeah, they got petrified. But all the revival fluid they had is right there, chilling.
Maybe I think mainly it's gonna be Suika. And then if the author wants to throw a curveball, like the one that she threw could hit someone, but that would be like crazy.
Go to page 3, the middle panel. They actually got petrified.
Yeah, I knew they got. Of course, they got petrified.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's my bad. Speed too fast over there. But that sucks. Imagine I'd be so pissed if I woke up. I'm like, Luna, we could have been the MVPs, but you missed the shot.
Yeah, you could see Chelsea's face. It's like, bro.
I'd be so mad. I guarantee you can like if that was me, bro. Like my final petrification pose would be flicking her off, 100%.
That would be the thought that would keep you going, like keep you sentient in your fucking statue. Like, fuck this bitch. The second I get up, I'm gonna sock her right in the fucking tit.
Yeah, I just repeat "fuck Luna" the entire time. Not to fuck her, but actually fuck her.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was
or
saying,
you
like,
could
no,
bring back the Urban Dictionary hate fuck joke that we like to make.
It's so funny.
Good old sentient, or good old, I almost said sentient, a good old consensual hate fuck. Never hurt nobody.
Never hurt nope. All of your dicks and poopies. You guys go so hard, you guys can't walk.
Yeah, good times.
Good times, bro.
Anyway,
so,
as you were saying.
So, yeah. So I think great chapter all around. My rating for today, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10.
Yum.
I think 9.5 out of 10, 100%. 100%. And I think that's peace for me. You guys have a great day. I'm going to suffer at work. My tomorrow's my off day, so be like that. But
I love you,
Yeah.
Thurman. You be safe.
We got
out
some
there.
more good stuff to film tomorrow.
Make sure. I don't know if there's any
Jeez.
angry Republicans vibing in Las Vegas, but just be safe out there.
just remember, guilty. The motherfucker is guilty.
Woo!
We got justice today, boys.
Finally.
Oh,
I love it.
Finally, after almost a full year,
God, I
we
hope,
got
like,
it.
genuinely, I think this could be like a sign of a new, I don't know, like that. This is like the big, like, changing moment, the pivotal moment in American history where I think shit starts to turn around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now that's a fucking message to other police officers. Like, oh shit, we can be found guilty.
Yeah, we can be found guilty, and we can be held accountable for our actions.
Beautiful. Anyway,
It
so
is.
one last.
Anyway, let's talk about this author comment really quick, and then
I have another
wrap
question
it
about
up.
the chapter, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Boichi actually put out the author comment, or well, I guess in this case, artist comment, saying that he's getting shivers every time he's reading Ignoraki Sensei's storyboards, and I'm curious if we're still going on the trend of like seeing storyboards a little bit in advance of the last chapter, so they can like touch up the actual art and do all the good things and make everything super polished, like
Sorry about
a
that.
talented motherfucker like Boichi does. What we could be seeing next, because like the
I
last
think he was talking
arc,
about a future chapter or this one, because I assumed it was this
Yeah.
one.
That's what I'm curious about, because this one just kind of seemed, well, hype. It just seemed like a standard Doctor Stone chapter. Nothing super actiony, nothing super deep, nothing. I mean, obviously you got the hashtag deep, like
This
everything's
is
going
not
back
a
to
standard. This is a huge moment in the series.
It's a huge moment, but like from an art or storyboarding standard,
You're
it's-
hoping that there's a death coming. Well, you're hoping that.
that's that I'm hoping that there's consequences for everything that's happened in this, because like we've been saying the last couple of reviews, like if there's no consequences for a full-on war with firearms and everything going down, like this will drop it in the rankings in my top 10, top 20. So I'm hoping he's referring to something like that, because seeing chills for the petrification, something you've done multiple times at this point, just doesn't make sense to me. You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I remember a similar conversation like this happening with one of the One Piece chapters. Hold on, I gotta plug in my laptop, otherwise it's gonna die. But I remember, I'm gonna say something and then I'll let you say it while I plug in my laptop. But yeah, like there was a One Piece chapter where the editor was like, "Oh my god, I cried so hard at this chapter," and it turned out to just be like a Momo moment, and a lot of people aren't like super into Momo. They were like, "What the fuck?" So like, don't get your hype too high up.
That's just kind of my perspective on it, because we've seen the petrification done, like initially in the beginning during the like setup of the series. We've seen it in Treasure Island. We've seen moments of it here and there throughout the entire series where they're testing the Medusas and doing all the like planning for this moment. So like to see something like shivers every time you're reading the storyboards for something like that, it's just like, are you though, or are you hyping this up? Because while this is hype and this has huge implications for the story, from a storytelling standpoint, this is something we've seen multiple times in the series.
He also
already.
could have potentially been talking about like these past string of chapters, like the past like 5.
Yeah, and then from that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That 100%. Like the last 5-10 chapters of the series has just been a fucking steamroller of hype everywhere. But like the Medusa effect really doesn't super get me hyped anymore from that type of.
Right, it's more the consequences, not the petrification itself. That's hype.
Exactly. Obviously, like Senku potentially losing his marks, that's a big moment. But other than that, okay, we've seen the Medusa. Let's see what the Medusa can do. I'd like to see the Medusa actually broke down scientifically. Like, this is its lasting effects. This is what it does here. This is how it affects you on a cellular level.
I think we're gonna get that eventually, like, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's something I'd absolutely love to see, because.
So, I have a question. So a couple things. One, when we see this end bit here about all the, like, we see the seasons passing. I mean, I'll count. Like, we see, like a spring and or like summer, autumn, winter, spring, winter, spring. You know, like it keeps going. That's multiple years already. Unless this is supposed to be metaphorical, but like it literally can't be. The dog and the pig are like old now. So
Yeah,
that
because
means
in
really
the
quick,
anime, the dog looks like it's just a pup.
oh, I mean, we see the dog a couple pages earlier. Like you can see it just
Yeah.
being a pup.
Yeah.
So
Like
what I'm saying
Stone
is
Wars,
what I'm
from Stone
saying
Wars on
is
down to
something
this.
clearly went wrong here because Senku was like, it really should be the first lightning strike, and it doesn't take that long for lightning to come.
Yeah. Yeah. Or has the Medusa affected the weather cycle as well?
I don't know, but like it seemed like Senku, I don't know, like the way they worded it, it's a really sensitive like sound thing, and really it should be anything like a tree. I thought he said even like a tree falling could do it, and then like the way I understood the speech that he gave was that like a tree falling could do it, a particularly loud animal, but for sure by the time a lightning hits, like that would do it, right? So the fact that it like hasn't happened yet and all this time is passing is suspect to me. And it makes me think that the author is going to be like, yes, something went wrong. I don't know. Like I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the shit's about to get fucking moment there at the end. So theoretically speaking, since we've seen the dog in the Stone Wars anime and we've seen the boar, I'm guessing it's only been like a year or two since that has happened.
Well, again, we don't really have to worry about the dog in the anime. You can see the dog, like the dog. We see the dog in pup form right here in this chapter.
I'm trying to think here.
I mean, how long does it take from a dog to go from that to that? I mean, at least a year or two, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a small pupper in the anime. Then it's a little bit bigger than it was here. Like it's at least a small bit bigger, and then from here to here.
Okay.
I
hadn't seen the anime picture. So.
I saw it because I think it was Jacob retweeted it. Because I haven't got that far with my partner in the fucking anime. And I completely forgot this character existed until I saw that.
Me too. I remember the pig things. I think they used the pigs to find like truffles and some shit.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I remember that because of my binge through on Twitch. But I didn't remember the dog at all. Which is funny because I love dogs.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So.
I'm trying to think, like, between those two pictures, we're seeing at least, like, a year or two between them.
Yeah.
So, it just, we're getting that shit's about to get fucking moment, but I'm just curious, are we seeing, like, multiple years or just a year? Because it looked more, like, summerish in the actual, like, arc itself, and then we're seeing, like, what looks like maybe a fall, a winter, and then a full year after.
It feels
that.
like at least a year or two already. Mm-hmm. Like we're seeing, like we see all the seasons at least once, and then we see a couple twice.
Yeah. So
we see 2 winters. So that's at least I mean like at least 2 years already.
Yeah. Yep.
So to me, I'm thinking that the way this author's going to do it is one of those situations where it's like if I'm going to do it, I might as well like do it, right? So like I think there's going to be a big like oh fuck. Something went wrong, but I'm just curious I'm really curious how he's gonna do this because like there's the worry about making all the progress seem meaningless. Well, that is exciting to like just kidding, all your progress is fucked up now, kind of like a Sabaody Archipelago moment in One Piece where it's like you thought you were going to this island, but actually everyone's fucking sidetracked now. I was like, whoa, that is exciting. But if not done right, it can seem, instead of exciting, it could be very annoying. So this is going to be an interesting point in the series to see how this author does it and if they do it well.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those moments that's like, okay, so now we have consequences for the Medusa and potentially consequences for the war itself. Basically, leading up.
Everything they've built is going to be fucked now. Like, yeah.
I mean,
everything. There might be some remnants of it, but like anything that had like any like value of like, oh, this works like this works like this. If you leave it alone for more than a year, it's fucked. Like for example, if you leave a house abandoned for a year or two, like sure, it's not going to be broken down, but like you're going to have to fix the plumbing, you're going to have to fix the electricity, the wiring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to have to redo like all the lighting in the original village. They're going to have to redo all of the like fucking
the finer details shit. Like the structures might still be up, but like
yeah, exactly. There'll be shells essentially, and that's going to be like okay. So
I like that because then it's not like you don't got to fully rebuild, but like there is some like we got to
There is a oh fuck we messed up moment, and that's better than nothing for consequence and a genre that likes to not have a lot of consequence overall. And I think that's about the best that we're going to really get here.
So, final thoughts for you.
Final thoughts, like, okay. let's break down what I want the next couple chapters, because now we've set up the awakening. We've set up like the potential for like, okay, this is how we're going to lead into the next arc, so to speak. So like my wish list, I'm probably going to get fucking none of this, is
for it to turn into ascending.
No, it doesn't have
I know,
to
I'm
go
trolling.
I would like for it to go like a bit darker, but we're not going to get full on dark.
Such is
I
the
like
struggle
this-
of reading a shonen as a 27-year-old.
I mean, I read plenty of Cindy on the side too.
Oh,
so,
I know. I'm not making fun of you. I'm saying
Yeah.
my experiences is like
Oh, yeah.
I read a bunch of shonen and I want it to be darker, but then I remember, it's not really.
The demographics not there.
That's why Chainsaw Man is amazing. Occasionally, you get one that decides to go dark, like Chainsaw Man or Hunter x Hunter, and it's like.
Yeah. What I want in the next couple chapters, for this lead into the next arc, is the confirmation, or the "fuck you, nobody's dead" moment. I want.
Oh, I can't
I
wait
want-
to talk about that.
Oh yeah, and that will affect where we put it in like our big "fuck you." We're sitting down at a bar and talking about all these series. By bar I mean Bar David.
I can't wait.
Fucking making all the Bar Francois drinks because you all have fucking coerced me into doing that.
I mean, don't you want to?
I'm not saying I don't want to experiment with that. I'm just saying you all have made it abundantly clear as commenters that I have to do it.
Because you were the only one out of the three of us that was literally a fucking bartender.
I mean, so?
What do you mean, so? Excuse me?
I mean, I could pay a bartender at a
Then
bar
let's
to
do
do
that.
it too.
If you don't want to, I don't care. I just want to try these drinks. I don't give a fuck who makes them.
Anyway, I'm just trolling at this point.
I know, I'm trolling back.
But what I really want to do is like see if it has that weighted consequence here, and that will be like, okay, this is in my top 10. No, it's lowering. It's lower. Oh shit, it's dropped to my top 20. Obviously, it's not going to drop that far, but it's going to have consequences for that in of itself. I want to see how much time has passed.
It won't be a Promised Neverland-esque drop, but it will be more like a Bleach-esque drop, where like Bleach went from like top 10 to like an average shonen.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even drop that much either, honestly, because if no one dies, it'll just reaffirm the like, okay, it's not the type of series it's gonna be. I should just be reading this the same way I read like the Magic School Bus or watch the Magic School Bus. Like this, it's a fun educational ride, but I shouldn't expect like deaths or anything. That's really what it's gonna do for me. It's just gonna kind of like finally allow me to categorize what to expect from the series.
Exactly.
Because if they don't die, it essentially becomes the what was the name of the kid that always hated going on the field trips? Was it Arnold?
I forget.
Oh, either way, it'll essentially become when he took his fucking helmet off on Pluto, and everyone, like, as a kid, I'm like, he's fucking dead, and then it's like, oh right, it's a kid show.
Yeah, I mean that moment there. Like, it's been so fucking long since I watched Magic School Bus.
I
hear the reboot was
too.
horrible.
Like, that's literally what it'll become for me. Like, oh okay, that's how I need to view the show then.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, if that's the story you want to tell as an author. I've had this back and forth with like multiple people in our comments last week too. Like, that's the story they want to tell. That's totally okay.
David and I are just freaks, and we love death, misery, and destruction.
I mean, I'm not going to even try to deny that.
Like, do you remember when fucking Lelouch, like tells pink-haired bitch to like?
You mean the Tomato Town part?
Yes. No, seriously, like, unironically though, like that's my favorite moment in Code Geass. When supposedly smart Lelouch is like, for example, if I were to tell you I command you to kill all of the 11s, you'd have to do it. And then she's like, I'm gonna go kill all the 11s now.
Because he hadn't got code yet. Oh God, yes.
That shit was beautiful. Oh, it was so good. And then of course when what's her fuck is dying,
don't slaughter the Japanese.
When he's commanding that one bitch to like live as she's like dying and shit, like that was really good too. I don't remember anyone's name, but yeah.
Oh God, man, I want my next season. God damn it! They announced they're doing another fucking series. It's like a spin-off. I just want
it's becoming like Star Wars now. I'm so confused. That one bitch was dead and then she wasn't dead, and I don't understand.
Because money. Capitalism.
Anyway,
anyway,
wrapping this up. It's an hour now.
Yeah, like what the other thing I really, really want, and I think you can agree with me here, is for now that we have 3 casts, technically, because we're going to leave some people here, theoretically.
You talking about bases?
Yeah, 3 bases,
Okay.
3 sets of cast, and we're going to go to the next city to get the next ingredient so they can go to the moon, because that is the end goal of the series.
Speaking of that, we saw a shot from the moon, too, in this chapter, so I wonder if that was like Y-Man watching. Like, yeah.
I'm the Y-Man. I'm curious who's going to be in this team, and are they going to get as little screen time moving forward? Because that's a struggle we're starting to see between them. Like, this cast has got a lot of development in this arc, but the same could be said for the Corn City crew or the Ishigami Village crew.
You got to find a kind of balance, right? Like, I don't think it's fair to expect literally every character that exists to get like a bunch of development. The problem with Promised Neverland was that they were constantly there. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be like if only 2 Straw Hats got development and the rest of them like never were touched on, and you were like, who's that guy's name again? You know what I mean? But with characters that are like meant to be background characters, that's fine to me. And especially too with this petrification thing, that might actually solve the issue, because then all these other bases will probably stay petrified, so we won't even have to like worry about what they're doing. They'll essentially be frozen in a safe spot until Senku gets back.
Yeah, and that's the point I was getting at, because we saw a little bit of action from the other bases in this last couple arcs, or these last couple chapters, and now that we're in this, like, I got my quick save here for this village, I got my quick save here for this.
Yeah, this might have been the moment for the author where like, okay, it's getting to be too many characters now. Let me just fucking simple it up a bit.
Exactly, and now we can establish a new crew in the next village. Like, okay, this is the batch we need to focus on here, and awaken them. Okay, this person here was an expert in this thing, and this person here was an expert in this thing, and start fresh from there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nice little reset.
Mm-hmm. So,
it reminds me a bit of what I thought Fairy Tail was gonna do when they fucking did that thing, like where everyone like supposedly died on an island, and then it was like, here's our new main character. Just kidding.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we brought this up in the Promised Neverland video, which is why I was bringing it up here. Is like, we could have established bases between the houses. You know, the Gracefield house, the Goldie Pond crew staying there and being like bases of operation there. And we kind of got that here in Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone they did the Promised Neverland Dynamic Better series.
Exactly. But I would like to have seen like a step to like, okay, what are they working on for Senku here, and what are they working on for Senku here? And the snapping back and forth between them. That's a dynamic I would like to see done, you know. And then we did get it the last couple chapters.
Yeah,
like, okay,
definitely. I honestly, unironically, like my favorite part of this entire arc was like the part where I don't even know, the base in America where they're all like crawling towards the device trying to get it, and then Joel fucking like puts his arm in it and gets like that was amazing. Yeah, and that was a B team moment, essentially. Yeah,
exactly. I'd like to see more of that moving forward, like focusing on these smaller crews and be like, what are they actually working on? Because they can't technically be in a fucking standstill the entire series. They have to be developing and harvesting and getting supplies for their trip to the moon, doing all these other things to prepare for the final mission, because that's their goal now, is to, oh god, I just Michael spit all over my mic.
Nice.
But that's kind of their place in the story now, is like gathering supplies and prepping for the final mission. I'd like to see a bit of their like adventure towards that, more or less.
Sure.
You know?
Anyway.
And now that we're in that save state, like, we might be able to get that the second Senku comes back. Okay, like, let's see what your progress was before I kind of said, oh, fuck it, we need to set the Medusa off and reset the world.
Let's flashback to what you had built before it all disintegrated.
Yeah. Like, oh, fuck, well, let's unfuck my fuck up.
Yeah. Either way, hour and 3 minutes. Anything left?
Nah. What's your final thoughts here?
You think you summed them up very well. I just want to see, I'm very curious how long they're going to be petrified, if the author's going to go full crazy and just like like how much of a reset essentially is what we're working with here. Of course I'd like to see at least 1 or 2 deaths. I think it'd be cool if they go around and like one of them was just timed wrong and like, oh shit, this one must have been dead before. That's also like, I don't remember if this has been answered, but like, does the petrification ray petrify corpses? Or does it just petrify living humans? Remind me if that's been answered in the comments, please.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Because it'd be cool. I'm gonna like the scene I'm visualizing is like it does petrify corpses and they're going around reviving everyone, and then one person doesn't actually get up. And I think that'd be very cool if we just had one, just to remind us of this arc. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just like how I still think to this day Nami in One Piece should have had a scar around her tattoo because she stabbed the fuck out of her arm, but it's clean. It's so clean. It's like, no, she stabbed the fuck out of her. I understand you don't want to blemish a beautiful woman, but like that would remind us, man. Like, come on, I need it. I need reminders.
Yeah, that's
why. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Go ahead.
That's the thing, though. If we're not going to kill off characters, leave them in a state of I'm fucked up.
Yeah, or give us some psychological fuck ups too. Well, like, if not killing character, we need like a Senku, like, you really did try to kill all of us, and that's kind of fucked moment, and like, I'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Especially now that half of these characters, Suika would be the perfect anchor for this as well. I'm glad you brought that up.
You tried to kill like a literal child. What happened to the soldier rules? Also, who was it? Because like, I don't know if we ever saw who tried to shoot Suika. Was it confirmed Stanley, or was it just like, did he have other men, or was it literally just Stanley and Zeno at that point?
I think there was one other guerrilla soldier there, but I'm not entirely sure who pulled the trigger.
Shot her like melon head.
Exactly.
So like,
and that
they could be like, what happened to those rules of engagement that you prided yourself on?
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect psychological moment where we can have actual repercussions without a death.
Oh yeah, like a conversation. Like when they revive Stanley, I would assume they'd be smart, tie him up, then revive him. That conversation would be glorious. So.
And like Suika being traumatized from almost fucking dying.
Yes, give me that. She shouldn't just be like happy-go-lucky, bubbly again. Like she should be a little fucked up from this. She's a child.
Exactly. A child, facing down bullets. You see this all the fucking time. Like there is trauma inherent in that moment, and that can be our repercussions for the entire war. You tried to murder a fucking child. Look at her. She has PTS fucking D now.
Look at her eyes. Look at her glaucoma eyes.
I think it would be more astigmatism, but you got the right idea.
It's like,
anyway.
it's just they just pick her up. Look at her. Look at what you've done. And she's got that old lady face on.
It's like, God. Well, she's 13. She shouldn't look like that. Get that thing away from me.
She's actually 11.
11. Age is
9
hard.
when the series first started.
Age is hard when you're petrifying children, okay?
Yeah. Peace? Anything else? I'm just trying. I haven't eaten in hours. I'm very hungry.
Yeah, that's the moment we really need to get to. Is like, okay, now you've got this perfect chance here. Take it, you magnificent bastards, you. Anyway, peace.